Yeah, so I think at this point, this is a real community token. I don't think I really have ever seen a real like organic community token in a long time. So this is exciting. So I just want to give an update, and I want to make it clear. This app in this infrastructure that we're building from the very start, the idea was not only to flip the DAO. That is number one priority. But number two is just to be here forever, right? Like Doge will always be here, right? It's the Department of Government Efficiency. It's literally written in the history books. What we want to do is create something that is a forever, right? And that's creating a really truly decentralized community, and then B, creating real tangible things that can actually create value for the entire system. So one of the reasons why I came in and made the donation I did was to make sure that dream would actually happen. With that said, the app that has been up, and whoever has played around with it, just a little bit background on why this is such a great way of creating an indice is because there's been tens of index products that have failed over the years, and it's either been due to lack of enthusiasm, like a DAO ownership, or poor UX UI, or they're not available in the United States. So what we've done here in a self-custody index with respect to memes in the Dow Jones Industrial Average is create a regulatory ready product, right, that utilizes the existing infrastructure. So we haven't created any additional smart contracts to do things, so that we can bootstrap a really nice looking product, and that could actually create what we are, right? The Dow Jones Industrial Average. What is the Dow Jones Industrial Average? That's the top 30 stocks, right? The Dow Jones is the company behind the Dow Jones Industrial. The company is actually a marketing company that's behind the Dow Jones, the top 30. So the way to think about this, right, is we would expect the market cap of the index that we create to surpass that of the market cap of the 30 companies of Dow, which is $17 trillion. And then a really actually pretty, tangible thing or realistic goal here is the market cap of the Dow Jones, which is 38 billion, right? So this is the narrative, right? We've always been talking about it, but how do we actually put that in action? We've actually built out a real tangible infrastructure for that to happen. Now, today, what we have is you're able to go in and purchase all the underlying assets and hold them in self-custody within your wallets. Now, what are we going to do to create value for DJI holders is, A, we're going to be adding a couple more coins to the index, which you could probably guess that one of them which is right in front of our faces, which we're involved in. And then another coin to round out at least the top 10. And we've been kind of building out the code base so that you could actually go purchase all of them in one click. The second is implementing a very small fee mechanism. This will be legitimately not a lot to start because we don't want to hinder it from people purchasing. But that will be implemented where it goes and buys back Dow Jones Industrial. So that's number one. We can either choose as a community to burn it or put it towards the marketing wallet, whatever we want to do. It doesn't really, I would like to do a burn mechanism because that's kind of an automated thing. We don't need to really worry about it. And then the last thing is something that we've gotten user feedback on, which is essentially how do we actually backtest our index, right? So what you're going to see in the coming weeks, or hopefully within the coming weeks, is you're actually going to be able to kind of look at the history of the index that was created. So you're actually able to see the performance from when it started to like when we actually created it. So that's like phase 0, right? We're in phase 0. Now, let's talk about phase 1, right? Phase 1 is going to then expand on what we've created in terms of wallet, right? So you go in and purchase the underlying assets and they hold it in your wallet, right? The next batch here is creating user vaults. So it's something that Polymarkets does on ETH, which we're going to bring over to DJI. What this allows it to do is we're actually going to be able to do automated rebalancing. So when you think about an index, you want to put money into the index, and when the index changes, you're actually, the holdings change, right? So by implementing user vaults, we're actually going to be creating an auto rebalancing function that will allow the index to rebalance, and you can essentially just go and put money in and let it just be the index, just like the Dow Jones, right? So that's phase 1. Then phase 2, right, we're at 0, phase 1, phase 2. Phase 2 is then implementing cross-chain mechanisms. So you're actually going to be able to go in, put in, say, $100, right? And it goes, and instead of only Solana, you're then going to be able to purchase tokens on other chains. So what that allows it to do is you're actually going to see it ship, right? You're going to actually self-custody ship on Ethereum, right? You're going to be able to self-custody DJI on Solana, right? And then as like the market appetite for other means on other chains open up, then we can talk about other cross-chain mechanisms. So I want to be very clear that the tech is going to be built regardless, as agnostically as possible to the price of DJI. Now, I've made a donation, and there's been also a very large donation from one of our holders to essentially allow us to very nicely kind of fund this build over the course of the next. I mean, when I talk about these phases, like phase 0, I hope to have the next month, maybe 2. Phase 1 within 3 months, 4 months, and phase 2, that will be continuous, right? So we hope that we can do that with what we have available, and we encourage those holders who want to see the long-term longevity of this project to last, to go and contribute, right? I think we've done a great job over the past couple weeks of kind of banding together, and I wanted to show that this is possible to do, and the tech will get built, right? So that's my focus, is getting the tech built. So the community at this point will run this project. I will be absolutely coordinating with people and helping people understand what we're building. But at this point, you see BP come in, you see ID come in, you see Friend taking, a bigger kind of position here. It's no longer devs, right? Like, the tech will be built. Don't get me wrong, it will get built. And as long as we can have a brand, it can hopefully operate nice and continuously without many hiccups, just if we can get everything funded nicely, but it will get built. So at this point, we've seen people step up. We've seen people take leadership, go into working groups and things like that. Now it's really based on those leaders to take the initiative to build this into a bigger and better thing, right? Something that will last forever. So what I encourage everybody to do is go and actually participate. I think what I'm going to focus on is building tech, and I'm happy to kind of focus on the long-term vision and things like that. But the community should be doing their own marketing around whatever tech was created and the narrative that we have. So I encourage everybody to participate. I encourage the large holders to donate effectively so that we can fund what would be needed at higher market caps, including exchanges, market makers, and whatever. We already have all those plans. Those plans have always been there. So you don't everything just needs to be kind of done, executed, and then we'll just go from there. So at this point, there's no more why isn't something getting done? Look at it and do it. So I encourage everybody to kind of get involved. I'm happy to answer any questions. The tech will get built on the timeline it gets built on. I'm not going to go out and make promises to people when things are going to get done, but they will happen as fast as I would like them to get done, and that is yesterday. So I would like to operate on a quick timeline. So yeah, happy to answer any questions, but this is a dream. and we're going to make this dream a reality. And it's, it's regardless of other people's sentiment or what you think. If you want to rely on other people, go ahead and rely on other people. At this point, I don't rely on anyone. I rely on myself and my timelines. So I encourage everybody to get involved. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Seabass, I have a question. Why is it that every time you speak, now we're up 3 million market cap? You have some magic words when you speak, bro. How you do it?
Dude, the tech that we're about to build here, you have no idea. We have spent months iterating how to actually create a functional regulatory product in the space. And, we have a great brand. This is crazy that people decided that, this is they don't want to take part. What you're seeing is people are now taking part. Now you see what we've been working on. You probably didn't even see. Most people didn't even know that this app was being created. This was something that we didn't even want to announce because it wasn't ready, right? It wasn't ready to be told that something was to be done. And you don't understand, I like to operate on my own timeline. Eventually it needs to be sped up a little bit so that the market understands that you are actually doing something. But now you see it, right? This phased approach is going to take time, but we're not building something that's going to happen overnight, right? We've been here for months. This isn't going to stop. This is going to continue to build. This brand, if done correctly, will be a multi-billion-dollar brand. And it's just if the community wants it to do it, and the tech will be built around it, right? So there's already infrastructure. It's like a layer one, right? We are layer one. I'm happy to be the first builder on our layer one brand, right? And that's implementing an index on the brand, right? To go buy back DJI. And then if you talk about all these phases and custody vaults and rebalancing and how it is actually regulatory, correct. It is correct. At a certain point in time, we probably need a memo from a law firm that it is proper. But the fact of the matter is, it is, right? It is correct. We're not really touching anyone's money. It's your money. When you go buy the index, you actually go buy the underlying assets. It is the ethos of DeFi. So, you can either participate or you don't, but now today, it was starting a few weeks ago, everybody sees that there's no more asking who is doing what to do something for yourself. You go pick up the shovel and go do it yourself. So anyways, I'll leave it at that.